With the cycling season well and truly underway, it's time to look back at some of the best moments you might have missed so far, starting with a new addition to the Women's World Tour calendar, the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race. As wind and rain battered the Victorian coast, the resolve of the day's main five-rider break caused tensions to rise. At 20 kilometres to go, the pressure showed. A massive crash split the peloton, leaving just 30 riders left to claw back the leaders. The catch would eventually come, giving the opportunity for Sunweb's Liana Lippert to make her move on the day's final climb of Melville Avenue.
They protected me the whole day, and they played a really important role also in the final. I mean, yeah, without my team I couldn't have won this race for sure now.
Victoria's usual blue skies returned, but the winds remained for the men's edition the following day. Splits in the bunch would be a recurring theme of the race's early stages. Youngsters Carter Turnbull and Elliot Schultz were enjoying their moment in the limelight in the day's longest breakaway. But by the time the race headed into the Geelong circuit, the steep climbs of Chalambra Crescent started to bite the leaders. As the race regrouped on the penultimate ascent of Chalambra, Mitchelton Scott set about blowing the race apart.
And that looks like Elia Viviani is in the front group. It is Viviani. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, number one, the blue and the white colours, that is the Italian.
Caleb Ewan in there as well.
With 2017 winner Jay McCarthy still there, the Australian squad played its next card.
A sprinter who won last year, Yates.
It had to happen, and he's gone with a terrific acceleration, but they're after him. That was an incredible acceleration by Yates, and all the sprinters have gone in one go.
Simon Yates's work was done, but moments later, teammate Daryl Impey was caught napping.
A sizzling attack, it was Sivakov. He went on the attack on the left-hand side. The reaction now comes from Dries Devenens.
Devenens opens up the sprints. He breaks the drought. Sivakov looks across. Is it Devenens? Dries delivers.
Already 2-3 years I was really having good legs in this race, each time in front, but holding back, waiting for my sprinter. But this time he didn't come back, so yeah, super nice experience.
From Australia, the World Tour headed for its next rendezvous, the Uae Tour. With a rich sprinting field, including the likes of Fernando Gaviria and Sam Bennett, Stage 1 in Dubai delivered a ferocious battle between some of the fastest men in the world.
Mitchell and Scott in fine spot. Here comes Ackerman. Here comes Ackerman to the line. Bora Hansgrohe will not be denied.
For sure, all the big names are here, and I wasn't sure if it's enough for my shape, but now I can say, okay, my shape is good, and now we can take it easy the next days and have a look what's going on the next week.
As the race hit the hills for the first time on Stage 2, the pace proved too high for race leader Pascal Ackermann. And when Victor Campenerts launched an audacious attack with 10 kilometres to go, four-time Tour de France winner Chris Froome showed it was still early days in his return from injury. But with a steep but short sprint to Hatterdam, the sprinters' teams weren't going to be denied.
It might only be a couple of hundred metres, but it's a long way to the line from here. Here comes Caleb Ewan. Ewan is trying to get around the outside of Bennett. Bennett has to resist and give in on this occasion. It's going to be a double up for Caleb Ewan.
With Stage 3 set to be the first battle of the week's general classification war, nerves were clearly high. A summit finish on the testing Jebel Hafit lay ahead. While Caleb Ewan sat up to save energy for the coming days, others, including De Koning Quickstep's GC hope James Knox, clearly struggled with soaring temperatures. It would be one of Knox's compatriots, though, who would turn up the heat even further.
And this is a massive attack as Adam Yates goes on the attack and tries to put it up to Alexei Lukashenko, look at David go do grimaces in the effort.
Slovenian sensation Tadej Pogačar had missed the move and put his UAE Team Emirates team to work, but unfortunately for the 21-year-old Adam Yates was just getting started. While Pogačar bridged and passed the chasers, he could make no inroads into a flying Yates lead.
I just really wanted to test the legs, and so I attacked, maybe a little bit too early, but I just committed, and if they came back, they came back. But in the end, I felt good, and I managed to stay away.
Pogačar would finish more than a minute down, leaving Yates well and truly in the driving seat at the top of the GC. Stage 4 was earmarked for another sprint finish, leaving the day's two-man break to provide the early entertainment. Forecasts of strong winds had raised the prospect of echelons, but in the end none materialised, although it did disrupt the sprint train's approach to the finish. Providing clarity through the chaos and on his early season form was Jumbo-Visma's Dylan Groenewegen.
Bennett launches, Bennett goes, and here comes Groenewegen alongside him. It's Bennett against Groenewegen, Groenewegen has it. Here comes Gaviria through to the line, but it's Groenewegen that just about hangs on.
With another summit finish on Jebel Hafit, many were looking to make amends for previous mistakes on Stage 5. Most notably, James Knox, after his meltdown on the same climb 2 days prior, launched a daring attempt at the stage win after a day in the breakaway. With the chasers biding their time behind, the Cumbrian had nearly 90 seconds to play with until the GC battle ignited.
It's going, it's all happening. The attacks are coming from the front, and it had to happen, didn't it? And he's rolled over the right at the back of it. Adam Yates immediately responds to the attack from Tadej Pogačar.
A series of attacks from a lead group of 5 rapidly closed Knox's gap, ending his brave bid for a stage win with 3 kilometres to go. As Yates shut down any threat to his overall lead, an exciting finale on the narrow route to the finish was guaranteed.
It's Lysenko that's going to take them up towards the line, gets on the pedals. Pogačar wants to give it one last go. Who got it? Well, Lysenko is throwing his arms in celebration, but I think Pogačar could well have got that one.
An embarrassing moment for Lysenko, gifting the stage to Pogačar, but one ultimately forgotten in the drama of the following hours, as the remainder of the race was cancelled in light of suspected cases of COVID-19 in the race entourage, leaving Adam Yates as the overall winner of an unforgettable UAE Tour. From the Middle East to the season's first taste of Flanders at Omloop het Nieuwsblad and cycling's unofficial opening weekend. Rather than the cobbled sections that often define Flemish racing, it would be the steep paved climbs of the Leeberg and Rekkelberg that would shape the race. Sunweb's Soren Kragh Andersen's attack on the latter with 73 kilometres to go was followed by unlikely winners in Tim de Klerk, Frederik Frisson and Jonas Ruch. But when 4 more riders bridged over, the lead bunch looked like it might deliver the day's victor. Among them, CCC's Matteo Trentin, Jasper Stuyven of Trek Segafredo and De Koning Quickstep's Yves Lampert. With such firepower, the lead group streaked away from the weary chasers behind, setting up a showdown on the Muur van Geraardsbergen.
Lampard on the left-hand side, Stuyven on the right, and now Kragh is losing ground. It's the 2 Flemish riders going head-to-head.
As Kragh Andersen recovered ground on the descent, Matteo Trentin would not be so lucky, the Italian unable to close the agonisingly small gap on the Bosberg. And so the lead trio would duke out the finale in the streets of Ninova.
It's Stuyven on the left as we look at it now. Lampard on the right trying to come around him. Stuyven has his nose in front for the moment. Lampard can't do it. And Jasper Stuyven on day one of opening weekend.
We were really with a good group, and we finished the season good last year with Mess getting world champion, and we really were motivated to keep this vibe going, and I think we proved today that it worked out pretty well.
Injury. But with a steep but short sprint to Hatterdam, the sprinters' teams weren't going to be denied.
It might only be a couple of 100 metres, but it's a long way to the line from here. Here comes Caleb Ewan. Ewan is trying to get around the outside of Bennett. Bennett has to resist and give in on this occasion. It's going to be a double up for Caleb Ewan.